From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast of sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Join them every Tuesday for trivia and Thursday for bingo. What you drinking on today, bud?
Yodelay Blue. Last time we hosted bingo, I made sure I got my fill of the Yodelay Blue.
Nice.
Because I love it. I love it so much. And so
that's a great
that's
beer.
What I'm drinking. What about yourself, brother? What do you got?
I got that Burrow Blonde, my dude.
Okay,
Burrow
just keeping
Blonde,
it
classic.
Just keeping it low key. Just keeping it.
Yeah.
I got shit to do tomorrow. Yeah. You know, I feel you.
I got shit to do today. I still got to pack for my trip that I leave for tomorrow.
You're a fool, dude. I would have been packed for weeks. I would have been packed for weeks.
Yeah. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon to get all the spicy bits in a day early, and on Twitch where you can find us game in a little bit. How are you this week, bud?
Good, man. I just got word in that Stephanie and I got a 100 on our first aid assessment video that we did. And I say we because nice. I was the unresponsive victim. And then I was responding at one point, had a skateboarding accident, hurt my ankle. Well, we got 100. So, I mean, I feel like acting was definitely probably one of the things they graded on. And not the specific
a solid
things that she
75%
did.
was because of you.
I mean, when I was laying there as the unresponsive victim, I mean, Bobby, you don't realize how hard it is to not respond. She's trying to get me to respond, but me, I'm a method actor. And so I didn't. I was like, I'm going to be passed out guy number one. And so I rocked that. But seriously, I mean, great weekend of football. If you are a fan of just the general sport of football, not if you're me and you have specific teams that you root for. I say that in real life because in the fantasy world, you know, that rare time that it happens, normally you sit there and you complain about fantasy and, you know, you're upset and early on, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. The fantasy gods have smiled upon me this year. Knock on wood. Obviously, I don't expect it to last. I'm actually a little nervous about it. But another 6-in-1 week. You were the only person that beat me this week, bud. And you not only beat me, you beat me like I stole something from you. Okay. You beat me like I called your mother bad names, bro. You whipped me bad. Trey Lance went down like play 3 for you. And you still beat me by like 50 points, man. Like it was ridiculous. So really good win for you there. But, yeah, man. So overall pretty good. Again, in a fantasy kind of sense, in a sense of good football. And I won money on college football. It's always nice after I've went all summer, lost about, $300-400 on baseball. Cause I just keep going back for more. Like, come on, like hit me again. I feel like Johnny Knoxville when he's like, is Butterbean okay? Like after he gets hit in the face, but, and so it's nice to see, after all summer losing all that money, I probably won about $250 over the course of football being back. So, it brings my pride up a little bit to know, okay, you're just bad at at baseball betting, buddy. You should just really, and next year I'll swear it off. Nah, not this year. But then they start, enticing you by being the only sport around. And then all of a sudden, I'm deep in the game. So I'm chasing losses. I don't even know what I've lost, Bobby. I don't even know what I've lost at this point. So, Matt, how about you, buddy? And I know you got a big big couple weeks coming up, man. Which means that I got a
Yeah,
lazy
yeah.
couple
It's been
weeks
going.
coming up, man.
Yeah, it was good. I've been doing good. I've been streaming, trying to get the streams in. Did a 24-hour stream. That was exhausting, but now I'm going on out of town for 2 weeks, taking the computer with me. So I mean, we're still gonna probably get a couple recordings in. I'll get a couple streams in. But just busy packing, getting ready for this. I mean, I've been doing, packing other stuff because it's obviously we're going out of town for a wedding. So my mom left yesterday, driving up there with car full of stuff. The wife and I are leaving tomorrow, so I gotta get a haircut. She's getting her hair done. We're doing all this stuff before we leave. But yeah, but I was thinking what y'all should have done was sent me the healthcare video and let me edit it a little bit, let me boost it up, give it some production value, maybe like a little bit of
Bobby,
CSI Miami feel to it. She takes off the glasses
all,
and it's like Baba O'Reilly in the background.
First of all, because it's in my contract, I'm going to tell you that obviously we don't need your help because we got 100. We were going for more of like an indie, like what's that that place in France, Cannes. We were going for like a Cannes festival feel. But if I weren't me and you weren't you, that would actually have been super awesome, and we will definitely and if in this hypothetical world we would have definitely done that, and we didn't really think about it. Well, and also I probably would have, but I knew that you're a pretty busy guy these days, so I don't want to pull my luck. But when you get
do
back,
a voiceover
though,
like it's
don't worry.
yeah, add some voiceovers like it's a murder mystery doc.
Or everything is Morgan Freeman, narrated by Morgan Freeman. Stephanie walked up upon the unresponsive man. She's
just dub y'all's voices with like dub hers with like Gilbert Godfrey.
Or even better, like at the end you can say, oh, dubbed his voice with this person, but I was unresponsive the whole time. So like, we had Tom Hanks over his voice, but obviously we had to cut his few lines because he was unresponsive. So
this video makes it onto Tom Hanks' IMDb page.
This is it, dude. That's it. That's what I mean. That's the dream. That's the dream. Then we can have him on with George Clooney and Mike Tyson. We are gathering up quite a little ensemble roundtable.
But all right, real quick, let's do a quick fit check. We're talking the Atlantic Division today, so we got some Atlantic Division jerseys on. I got that Habs jersey.
Ooh, baby, you got that
Panthers jersey.
You got that nice original jersey, that jersey upon all jerseys. But everybody knows why they go away from the Panthers, dude. Why'd they go away from the Panthers? The Panther on the jersey. This is sick. This is intimidating. The other one, just a little square. It's dumb. And I don't even know if I'm breaking any type of contractual obligations that we have to my favorite beer, Mayday. But I got my Rheingeist Brewery hat. They're up in Cincinnati. So I'm not, this was an ambassadorship for Pucks Out Podcast and Mayday. I made sure I told them about digging this hat. That is a really cool, it's in like an old train station. I think we've talked about it.
I want to check it out eventually.
Yeah. So, what about you? You got what you had on?
Just a classic Nashville hat, man.
Got to keep repping it. Got to always rep it.
Yeah.
Got to always rep it. Even you feel dirty with just that red jersey on. Huh?
All right, let's jump into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
All right. One of this show's favorite players, PK Subban, great player, a Norris winner, a absolute amazing person on and off the ice, has retired. His legacy, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player, but his legacy will go on. I mean, he is one of the great personalities of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he only played 13 seasons. I could see him going in. I mean, it would be hard pressed to imagine. I mean, has there been Norris Trophy winners when they've got to that point not be Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I'm sure that there probably has been, but I mean, I definitely, it's not like one of these first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't really, not having been into hockey my whole life, I don't really know what kind of criteria the Hockey Hall of Fame looks for. You know what I'm saying? Where I
Yeah.
could kind of tell you what they're looking for in football and what they're looking for in, baseball a little bit more. I don't really know what they would specifically look for. I mean, he as a
Yeah.
defenseman.
Okay, so here is a post from 5 years ago. At the time, so this is 5 years, out of date. Through its 62-year history, the Norris has predicted a Hall of Fame admittance of the 27 players who have won the award. The Hall has enshrined 19. The
Okay, so
remaining
it's
8
definitely
now,
possible to not.
yeah. So the active winners, Zdeno Chara obviously is a future Hall of Famer. Duncan Keith, Erik Karlsson, PK Subban is on this list. Drew Doughty, Brent Burns
saying they are
they are
Hall of
Norris winners,
Famers.
but they're not even eligible for Hall of Fame yet. So those other
That's
guys are also, and all of them except Erik Karlsson and Duncan Keith have only won it one time. So PK Subban, I guess, I mean, maybe he is a Hall of Famer. I mean,
yeah, he had a pretty
I mean,
prolific career, even not winning the Norris. And with Nashville, he did, a lot of injuries. I think that definitely would probably play into it. And some leagues do kind of include the overall impact that you've provided as well.
yeah.
And if that's something that hockey kind of brings into play, I mean, he's most certainly is. Hall of Famer in that regard. So, but yeah, sad to not see. But honestly, it is good. I think it's good for him to be out. It's one of those things where those star players can never not be great. I mean, some
Yeah.
guys can get hurt and come back and play a different role,
Yeah.
but some of those guys that it's hard to watch them not be themselves due to injury and stuff. And I think that's really the last little stretch that we got of
Yeah.
PK Subban.
So there was an article written by Bleacher Report. Let me see when this was. It's obviously a little bit more recently. It's 2016. Wow, which also feels like a long time ago. And they
It was a
rated
lot.
PK Subban as the Preds' most likely player to be in the Hall of Fame at the time.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy because Pecorino was playing at the time as well. But and immediately above him, the Montreal Canadiens' most likely Hall of Famer is Shea Weber.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's one of those things. I would imagine that Shea, when he eventually pulls the trigger, I mean, we've been saying it for years now. I would imagine that maybe he doesn't, but I would imagine he goes back and signs that
Yeah.
1-day contract like Chara is doing, and retires in Nashville. I mean, at least I think I would, as probably the most celebrated skater in history of Nashville. I mean, and you can argue player too, in my opinion. That Pecorino has been around, during our more glory time, glory years and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's sad to see a couple of these guys that have retired, and I hope if you haven't already, you watch them obliterate some folks. And we saw that hit on PK Subban on March end. Oh, it was nasty, bro. It was so nasty. I felt bad for that little rat, dude. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Remy.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Ratatouille rat? Remy?
I think so. I never saw the movie.
I've never seen all the way through it. I watched a little bit. I was like, this is stupid. He's a rat. He's gross, dude. Don't let him in your hair, man. Kill him. It's a rat.
Especially not around food.
Yeah, dude. It's just
No. We also have Zdeno Chara retiring as well. Certainly a future Hall of Famer. Big Chara was a part of that Bruins team for a long time. Got to play for the Islanders. I think where he started his career, right?
Yeah.
He started and
I think
ended at the Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's definitely, I mean, he's been around for about 45 years. So, it's going to be
And
weird
that's just
to,
his playing time.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be weird
Yeah.
to not watch that 32-foot man roll around and just manhandle people. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see old Chara buckled down by a predator. So that was always
Yeah, that was good.
was it Tanner Janelle or was it
Was it
yeah,
Chanot or I think Tanner Janot. It might have been the
I
other
think it
guy. I
was
can't
as
remember his name
well.
though. Yeah. Nathan McKinnon gets a new contract. 8-year, $12.6 million.
That's the average.
He's
That's the average, Bob. Because year one he
yeah,
gets 775K
a 16 million
base,
signing
and then
bonus.
and then that's for the first 3 years, 16 million signing bonus, and then year four he gets a 9.15 million base and a 3 million signing bonus, and notably that is because it is the potential lockout year. What that specifically means, I don't know, but that is why that is different. And then year four,
Yeah.
or year five, 990K, 9.9 mil signing bonus. It's a lot of Skrilla. That's a lot of Skrilla. So
Yeah.
let's hope that they can
I mean,
stay
that's
effective
just
long term.
wild.
That's a lot of money, man. So let's hope they can stay an effective team long term. Obviously, this will kind of factor into our talk that we have in a couple weeks when you get back. So
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very,
And there's a full no movement clause effective immediately, obviously, for a guy like him. That's
yeah,
something he
yeah. I
needs to
mean,
lock up in there.
that's
Well, I'm
usually
sure he
pretty
actually wants it locked up, not the team. Yeah. The player wants
right, right.
that.
Yeah, that's usually pretty standard on that
Yeah.
player side of things. So
Yeah. But all right. So we're talking the Atlantic Division preview today. We're going to start off with the Florida Panthers. The trade deadline acquisition of Claude Giroux helped catapult this team to the top of the league last season and he has now left for Ottawa. We've got Barkov, Ekblad, and Tkachuk, who will need support from Reinhardt and Duclair to continue their success they had last season. However, without Huberdeau on this team, I think the likelihood of them repeating their regular season success is unlikely.
yeah, I think they come a little bit back. We get a reset here, folks. I think they come down to earth a little bit more for sure. I think this is still a good team. I think that Huberdeau was obviously kind of something that set them over the edge. I don't think that they have a bad team though. I mean, I think
No.
that this is something that is sorry. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not too worried about them. I agree with you. While I agree with you, I don't think that their continued equal success is going to happen. I think this is definitely a playoff team and a team that you might even be a little bit more dangerous come playoff time. A lot of times, those teams that kind of float up above other teams in the regular season may not get the best game from everybody. They're like, all right, we're playing the Panthers tonight. We might, seize up a little bit. And so, not having some of that grit is sometimes can hurt you. So I think that this could be better for them. They don't have a guy like Huberdeau that's able to, magically dish a puck all the way across the ice into some guy stick to score a goal. So this is not at all a bad team. They need to stay healthy for sure. I mean, you really said it. Barkov, Ekblad, and Tkachuk. I mean, that's a lethal combo there that could very easily carry any team. If it wasn't the team that just lost a couple of guys like this, would we be even questioning where they would be ranked? I don't think we would.
Yeah. Toronto Maple Leafs, they have lost fan favorite Jack Campbell during the offseason. Spezza has retired. They brought in some mid-tier guys. They're looking to change the narrative coming up this postseason. I mean, I mean, I don't know. You know that they can't win. They can't get past the first round until the day they do. You know, maybe this is the year. Maybe it's not. At this point, with the Toronto Maple Leafs, you just don't know anymore. You know.
Yeah, it's a team that should absolutely be moving deep into the playoffs that we're talking about as a cup contender. I don't know if it's getting in their heads or what. And copy and paste, insert whatever our talking points were last year into this year. I mean, I still believe in in these guys. I mean, Austin Matthews. I mean, this is a team that you're going to target hard for fantasy players. I mean, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Willie Nylander. These are great hockey players. John Tavares is still going to probably crap the bed. So I mean, that's somebody that really, really, really needs to step up. No joke. Playoffs. That's a guy that needs to step up to the plate to help advance a team. He got paid a lot of money to come there. I mean, he was a superstar at the Islanders. So it's interesting to kind of see his not downfall. It's not like he's like doing zero, but I mean, for what he's getting paid, he's doing zero. So love to see him kind of step up to the plate.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up last season's Atlantic preview to see what we had to say about the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
It looks like I don't think we had a write-up. It looks like we just had their stats, which is weird that we wouldn't have had a write-up on them. We had to do your preview on separate doc. Oh, that's annoying. It looks like I can't pull it up. Let me see if I can pull up type in Atlantic preview.
Yeah, you just put in preview.
21-22 team previews. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see. Luckily, let's see. Toronto Maple Leafs. Last season, fifth most in goals in the season. Last season, Austin Matthews led all players. Jack Campbell started for the team between the pipes, and the team signed Mrazek. Sheldon keeps a rival behind the bench. Marner has Bruce Better with Matthews. Concerns: top-heavy offense and the amount of salary cap space they take up. Not much room to work with. With Hyman to Edmonton, Ritchie, Case, and Bunting are the least affordable rivals. Their penalty kill need to improve. Outlook: knocked out in the second round of the playoffs was our outlook for them.
So we weren't super far off. Plus or minus some additions. Obviously the moves were not the exact same, but I mean, I agree with that assessment. Pretty top heavy offense, paying a lot of money for that front end of things. So yeah, I mean, I was smart back then. I'm smart now, or I'm dumb back then and still dumb. So either way, I'm cool. Either way, I don't know that I'm. Either way, I don't know that I'm dumb. Okay, and that's the most important thing for dumb people. It's just not knowing.
Tampa Bay Lightning, the former back-to-back champs, made it to the finals again, and they will be looking to win the East for the fourth straight time. Nothing was broke, so they didn't fix it. Rather than bringing assets, they spent their time re-signing their key players like Nick Paul, Sergachev, Sonak, and Sorelli. Their big dogs have long-term contracts and a place, I'm sure, somewhere on the LTIR during the regular season. And then they'll be better for the postseason. They are now over the cap by $7 million as this episode is released. So I'm sure that'll stay somewhere in that range during the regular season.
Just a bit over. Just a smidgen. Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
What can you say about them? I think that this is a team definitely poised to win again. A team that has won before. They're definitely going to need to get healthy. I mean, that's the big thing. Braden Point was not Braden Point for most of the year. He kind of came back as a shell of himself in the playoffs. But not the Braden Point that we've seen play for sure. It's a team that can definitely win. It's hard to downplay that. I don't have the same feel of the team this year that I have the past couple of years. I feel like, and I don't know if it's just because they've kind of stayed so intact that it's feeling stale or something. I mean, how is it stale? They've won the East 3 years in a row. Maybe I'm just kind of overthinking it.
Yeah. That's a good stale to be at.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more of just like, oh, how you're predicting this upcoming season. I mean, usually this is about the time that a team kind of starts faltering in that long
Yeah.
run of success. So I'm really interested to see this team in particular in this division. So
Yeah.
while you're grabbing that beer, moving into the Boston Bruins. For the first time in a long time, we have a new coach there, Jim Montgomery. And weirdly enough, would not be eligible for Brandon and Bobby's coach house. He is not. This is only his second opportunity. He coached at Dallas. So hey, congratulations, Mr. Montgomery. Hopefully you're decent enough to start just getting a bunch of jobs now, and then you can join Coach House. Then we want you to be eventually so well storied that we can invite you into Coach House. But very interesting.
I think that has to be when I get back. We should probably. I want to make that into a skit show that we do, where we like film Coach House, and we just have like name tag. We have name tags. Maybe get a couple of our friends that just have name tags with the coach's name on it.
I'm so in for it. It can be me and you are sitting there at first, and we're like, all right, so we've got Bruce Boudreau in studio here to talk to us about being in Coach House, and or we could even film it like more Big Brother style, like where we have DRs.
I was gonna say someone we need to find our Julie Chen Moonves to host this show.
Okay, the search is on. You've heard it out here.
Maybe
folks.
We can just hire her.
And Julie may be available. I don't know. Big Brother seems pretty prolific. So now they will need – back to the Boston Bruins, everybody. Coach House is not happening. We will have to get a list of candidates. They're going to need a strong start because Brad Marchand not coming back till December. Charlie McAvoy not coming back till December. Matt Grzelcyk not coming back till November. Really only one big notable addition, Pavel Zacha from New Jersey, which I think can be a really good addition to this team and kind of the way that they have played previously under former leadership. I don't know how Montgomery's going to kind of take this offense or this style. Will he work there? But I mean, they're such an interesting team to me this year. This is a team that we normally know is a successful team. I mean, they're gonna have to have some players step up. I mean, Hampus Lindholm, Jake DeBrusk, Taylor Hall. I mean, who's it gonna be? Really, is the real question if they want to have any type of success and not be looking up in December and kind of dug themselves a hole. Decent goaltending. I mean, with Jeremy Swayman there and Linus Ullmark. I mean, it's something that you can definitely. This is a team that under some good leadership can most certainly weather the storm. You just have to hope that your guys that are currently healthy are staying healthy because, I mean, it's very quickly Patrick Bergeron and David Pastrnak could be sidelined for any number of reasons. So I'm interested to kind of see where this team goes. I think it's a team that if they start strong, they could get a kind of a second wind from a team that has been pretty prolific in the 2000s. I'm not worried about this team being good, but I would not be surprised if it was that time we're on the roller coaster and they're really kind of peaking.
Yeah. I mean, I think Taylor Hall is a interesting player with this team. I think he's a very good player. I think he's better than he was. I think he played better than some people think and I think the reason some people think that he didn't have such a good year last year is because it was the same kind of situation where if the best looking girl in her Oklahoma town, she's a 10 in Oklahoma, flies out to Los Angeles and she's a 2, is the same way. Taylor Hall went from Buffalo.
I would even say
to Boston.
Though I would even say I really like
he's no longer the belle of the ball.
Well, I like your analogy, but I would even say it's that local girl from that small town that goes and wins Miss, Miss Nebraska, like is like a big time star coming from New Jersey, and then kind of fell off the cliff. And I mean, dude, she's still pretty though. You know what I'm saying? She ain't Miss Nebraska no more,
Yeah.
but you know, he yeah, I agree with you. He played better than he could, but he has not been that super impactful guy really at any point that I can tell. And that's really more of the problem. Was Taylor Hall used to
Yeah.
be a game impactor where he could change the
Yeah.
course of the game, and I don't feel like they've got that in
A-
Boston.
and that's okay, because being a game
Yeah.
impactor on New Jersey or
But-
Buffalo, you need that because you're that guy. But on a team like on
Yeah,
Boston,
but
you don't have to be that game. You don't have to be the Philip Forsberg. You can be the Ryan Johansson. You can
You don't,
be, if you're a good
but-
player, you have a spot.
well, yeah, you don't. But with these injuries, they need somebody to be. And that's kind of
Yeah.
the rub. I mean, if
Yeah.
they got him slated as
And
a
we know
top
he has
line
the ability
guy-
to be that guy. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
more.
He
That's
has the
more
skill
of
and ability to be that
what I'm
guy.
saying.
And
Exactly.
hopefully now, he spent a season there. I mean, I guess he's spent a season and a half there now.
Yeah, I think
Hopefully
so.
he's starting to come into his own a little bit. How old is he's? I mean, he's not super
Like
young.
29, I want to
He's-
say. I mean,
Yeah,
might be
he's
double check that, but-
1991. Yeah. His first season
no,
was
so he'd be
2010.
31. So 30 or 31.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not. I think people feel like Taylor Hall's younger than he really is, maybe because he just looks like such
Sure.
a child, but
Yeah.
he's not a super young guy anymore.
Yeah.
So I think every season people keep saying, "Oh, he's gonna have his breakout season. He's gonna have this breakout season."
Yeah. No, we pretty much know
He's
what
at
we
that
have.
time
I mean,
now where we're past the breakout season point, and he
He
needs
needs
to be the player.
Well,
he
he needs
to
to
be.
carve out a niche for himself at this point. He's not a superstar anymore. He needs to kind of slide into a role like
Yeah.
Phil Kessel did. I
Yeah.
mean, not that Phil Kessel was ever Taylor Hall level of prolific, but find your niche and get good at it, and that's where you'll kind of live. Speaking of bad hockey teams, you brought up the Sabres. I think they're next on our list. I don't think
yeah.
that I don't have a lot to
Yeah,
say
but-
because my mom said, don't say
Neither do I.
anything. If you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything at all. My mom never said that to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to be clear to everybody that
Yeah.
knows my mom. That's not accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had conversations with your mom. She certainly says bad things sometimes about people.
That is, I mean,
Uh,
it's those people's fault. Okay, Bobby. All right. Don't be dumb.
Oh,
if you don't wanna
100%.
get
Always,
Yeah,
always.
I know you
I've
weren't
never-
talking
yeah.
bad, but to our friends out there that don't know.
Yeah. The Buffalo Sabres, they have done very little to fix their woes except sign Craig Anderson. Not a sentence I would be saying.
Yeah,
They have some bright spots in young star Dylan Cozens, and that's about it. Honestly.
Yeah, I will tell you this:
Not much
you're
going for
making
Buffalo.
you're making fun of the Craig Anderson signing, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm right there with you, except for I already know that at least once or twice, Craig Anderson probably going to get some spot starts on my team. Okay, he's always done me right with
Yeah.
a good fan
Yes.
with a good fantasy spot start. So you jest, but
Yeah,
I,
listen, we're not the fantasy goons right now. He is going to get some saves, a lot of saves, because he's going to be taking a lot of pucks. Like he's
And
going to be
he
getting a
will-
lot of shots on net.
and he will give you a start if you need a start minimum. Man.
Yeah. Yes. So let's
He won't-
move
hey,
straight
he will
into
not
the
be rostered.
Detroit.
He will not be rostered.
Yeah. The Detroit Red Wings. Why don't you take this one?
Yeah. New coach, Derek Lalonde. Hopefully able to take a step forward this year. From last year, they have a lot of young talent, kind of similar to them having last year. They need to step up to the plate. New players in the fold include Ben Sherratt, Ali Mata, Andrew Kopp, and David Perron. that's a solid little crop of free agents right there. Kind of, some veterans to mix in with that youth that they already have. They got to get an identity. I mean, we've never, there were times in which they were this prolific scoring team, and then they would have games when, they kind of shut it down, and they would stop teams using deep. They need to kind of gain some sort of identity as a squad. They need to improve majorly on the defensive side of the puck. I mean, I think they were 31st or 32nd in goals goals scored against them. That you're not gonna win long term with that. So that's something that they need to have. But I mean, hearing this, Bertuzzi, Larkin, and Lucas Raymond playing on the top line together, that's a dangerous line.
Yeah.
These guys, I kind of named some of these free agents. They got a team that can be a little scary. I don't know if Bertuzzi's still going to have to sit out every Canadian game. If that's the case, then that obviously really hurts your team overall. Because I mean, you can't get a lot of rhythm that way.
I'm honestly surprised that management didn't step, like, I don't know. That to me seems weird to have that in a workplace environment.
I don't think they had to pay him.
One of your
I don't think they had to pay him for those games or anything.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would imagine that a team in a rebuild is probably okay with that, would be my guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this could be a surprising team this year. I don't know that I'm sitting here saying playoffs, but I'm thinking this is okay. This is going to be one of those teams that within the first month of the season, people are like, playoffs? And then, it kind of fizzles out. But I think that right there at the end, I think they're going to be kind of.
Don't talk about it. Playoffs.
It's a little early. You're right, Mora. You're when you're right, you're right. But I think this is a team that can make a stretch run, down the stretch. And if they catch a little playoff spot, I most certainly am not going to be surprised if that happens. A team definitely has some talent.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything you had to say about that. The Ottawa Senators, Giroux brings a veteran leadership to this rebuild. Alex DeBrincat brings in good young promise as well. The rebuild isn't complete just yet, but I think they'll find themselves struggling for another season or two. But I like the way they're headed. Of the teams that are currently in rebuilds, I think they are maybe the second best team currently in a rebuild. We're going to talk about that other team when we get to the Central. But I like the Ottawa Senators where they are compared to where they were 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, DeBrincat is a guy that kind of interested to see what he can do there. I mean, that guy, he could really carve out his spot and become the superstar that a lot of people think he can be. With Giroux there, feeding him the puck, I think that is a dangerous prospect for teams playing the Senators. I don't think that anybody's in danger of losing a playoff spot to them, but I think that they are in danger of a Tuesday night loss, that you're not expecting by a couple or three goals every once and again.
For sure.
Definitely not the worst team in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's a good endorsement, right?
Yeah. The Montreal Canadiens, just bad last season, man. Improvement should be easy due to just how bad they really were. Evgeny Dadonov was a good pick. Carey Price future still in question. Caulfield and Suzuki are promising and maybe the only bright spot on this very, very, very bad team.
I mean,
I don't think there's any way to beat around the bush. They're just bad.
Yeah, nothing that you've named, though, right there indicates that they have anybody that can score goals massively when they need them. I mean, I'm nothing against a lot of these guys that are great hockey players and that can score goals. I'm not saying, but nothing that, no guys that you can kind of go to and look at that will drop 50, 60 goals for you. I mean, and not a lot of teams have that, but everybody has a few on their team that they think, okay, this guy could potentially do it. And the Canadians do not have that. The Habs are a team that are poised to be bad again. I mean, this is a team that we thought were going to be bad. 2 years ago and ended up not being bad and going to the Cup with a not so great roster, and then more kind of came back down to earth this last year. And I think that they're going to kind of stay on earth with no sights towards the galaxy up above them.
Yeah.
I think they're going to kind of hang out down there and be bad again.
Yeah. So that takes us in. That's it for the Atlantic. We're going to continue for you guys. It'll be next week with the Metro. For us, it'll be in about 20 minutes. But let's jump into what's snapping your stick.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
So, for the second or third time this week, this has happened. Windows had another update, and when that happens, it in some way just screws everything up. Earlier in the week, it reset all of my audio settings, which kind of screwed up the stream a little bit, caused me a delay for about 45 minutes. Today, this update caused some things.
What was your other excuse?
And then today there was an update on Windows that caused some other stuff to update, and my antivirus just thought everything was a Trojan horse and screwed everything up and made me delete a bunch of stuff. Honestly, it is just a pain in the ass sometimes dealing with stuff on PC. I love working on PC. God damn, it is annoying.
I just always never update things, Bob. Okay. That's why your boy running Windows 95. Okay. This is Internet Explorer. All right. Which is, I think actually no longer supported. So that sucks for me because I'm not able to talk to you anymore. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, it's always, you never see it. It's like, hey, if you don't want this to restart and close out everything that you've ever loved and all, your family and friends, press this button within 30 seconds. Hopefully I'm looking at this button in 30 seconds. So my whole hard drive doesn't reset, because some of them are like that sometimes. Like, I'm finna shut down if you don't tell me. So mine, staggered Monday Night Football. What even
that was weird.
Is this? Okay, Raj, let me hit you with something. Okay. And this is going to be crazy because baseball doesn't do anything right at all. All right. So a doubleheader is when a game happens and then another game happens. Okay. That's not a Monday night doubleheader. Those are just two games that are played very close together. All right. Like, there was still time in the second quarter when your other game was starting, man. Like, you didn't even wait till halftime, dude. It was so dumb. Like, the prospect of a Monday night doubleheader is always great. It's really great. The first Monday of the year, you usually get it. I was like, oh, well, we're getting it tonight. No problem. But it was not at all a doubleheader. It was stupid. I just did not like that at all. I mean, if you're going to have two games, it was not even, there was no point to it. I would have rather had one of those games at Sunday at noon. The fun part about Monday Night Football is that's the only thing to watch. So if there's two games to watch, you've deleted the purpose of it.
Luckily, there was only one. Luckily, one of them wasn't.
One game did end. Okay, so that's fair. One game did end early to accommodate you watching the end of the other game. That was bad. I was hoping you wouldn't really stumble onto that very easily joke that I like alley-ooped up in front of you. But if there would have been two football games, buddy, I would have been mad. I'm still waiting for the Titans to start playing. So let me know. Maybe Auburn too. The Auburn and Titans, if they play this weekend, please let me know about it, because I have been watching and I have not seen them play football at all. So,
but all right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week with the Metro Division. For Brandon, I'm Bobby. This has been Pucks Out Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.